Let's talk about LSU. LSU just playing unbelievably explosive football. And explosive is the only word I can think to talk about Brian Kelly. I've seen a lot of weird things with coaches at press conferences. If they lose, they get angry. Sometimes they don't play well, but when they get angry, he's historically going to his press conferences, pounds on the table. What the hell are you doing? And Brian Kelly, his defense intercepted 5 passes against the Florida Gators. It was a huge SEC win. And he blew his lid at a reporter who asked about the offense, which got kind of iffy and really struggled. And he started screeching at one of these veteran reporters covering LSU football about stupid question, and you don't know football, and I know football. And he goes off on these tangents and these tirades. Brian Kelly's going to self-destruct. There's a lot of junk going on behind the scenes with Brian Kelly. And he's lost my favor. And he came from Notre Dame. He's lost my favor. But anyhow, that was a hell of a win in the SEC. Georgia outgunned Tennessee, something like 41-40. What a great game. Gunnar Stockton throws for 304, a couple of touchdowns for Georgia. How about this story? The Tennessee quarterback, Joey Aguilar, he's the kid that was at Appalachian State, transferred to UCLA, and was going to be the Bruins star. Deshaun Foster brought him in. And then all of a sudden, Nico Maiava leaves Tennessee. He shows up at UCLA, and the coach tells Aguilar, you have to leave. So Joey Aguilar, in this showdown with Georgia, goes for 371 and 4 touchdowns.
Deshaun Foster.
And they ask him about, aren't you glad you didn't go to UCLA? And he kind of looked at the reporter for 10 seconds and said, how'd that work out at UCLA? What a shot. So look at that. Texas A&M. Wow, what a game at Notre Dame. 40-point shootout. Marcus Reed throws for 361 in South Bend, couple of touchdowns, won the game with 13 seconds to go. What a shocker for Notre Dame. Their defense just could not get off the field. Allowed the Texas Aggie quarterback to throw for 360. Big setback. Notre Dame was 0-2, and they're still ranked in the top 25 based on Catholicism and history. They're 0-2, and they're still ranked. How is that possible? But anyhow, Texas A&M, that's a huge win. That's a really good program that they bought down there at College Station. USC wins in Purdue. Jayden Maiava just continues throwing missiles and touchdown passes. Defense had 3 picks of the Boilermakers. Maiava had 282 through the air. So USC wins on the road. By the way, UCLA, think about this. Once they get through this bye week, they start playing in the Big Ten. They got to play Ohio State, Penn State, Washington, USC, Michigan State. I mean, their schedule going forward.
Oh, they're going to go over.
Could be. I mean, it's just horrible. So Southern Cal wins. Colorado, I watched this one. This is not good for Coach Prime. He didn't have a quarterback at this point, and he had a person plays a look at defense. They let the University of Houston run for 435 on them. So Colorado was really struggling. The media in Boulder's kind of turned on Coach Prime. I think those press conferences are going to get kind of pissy. He doesn't like criticism. They said, you're Colorado. You had Shador for 2 years as your calling card, and you don't have a quarterback. He can't play Juju Lewis, the freshman. He's just way overwhelmed. They're playing a third-string quarterback, and their defense is soft. They're terrible on the defensive side of the football. So year 3, Coach Prime, not working real well. Everything's fine, though, for Bill and the Babe in Chapel Hill.
Hot pants.
North Carolina. Social media. She, the woman in his life, Jordan Hudson, goes on social media and puts out, I think the correct quote is, "We are on our way." So Carolina's won 2 in a row after their opening season trashing. And they got trampled by TCU. So she writes on social media, "We're on our way." Well, thank God you played Charlotte and Richmond. You're on your way. I swear half the world and everybody in the ACC is lined up to try to take it out on Belichick and the Babe. So some of the big storylines in college football this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, week 1 was a great week, and so there are not as many great games, but, it's just fun having college football on Saturdays, and a lot of these teams, I'm kind of getting to know them a little bit. Notre Dame, you say, is still ranked. It's kind of, we got Pope Leo over there, and so, he's probably pulling some strings because Notre Dame's not too far from Chicago where the Pope is from. I like watching Coach Prime. I want him to be successful. And it kind of makes me wonder because he's got his own physical issues and, health matters. And, is there going to be a time where he's just going to throw in the towel because his kids are no longer there? I sometimes wonder about that.
Yeah, there seems to be a little bit of erosion of the excitement all around Colorado football. The media is kind of starting to bag on them that you've had 3 years of recruits and this is the product. They don't play a lick of defense at all. And I agree with you. It's great to have college football back on Saturday. Like, don't freaking bother me. Go clean the garage yourself if you want the garage cleaned.
But, I'll tell you this. The team that I'll follow most closely is our local team, the Aztecs. But they had a bye week, so it kind of felt like I was a little out of sorts.
They didn't win. Or they didn't lose.
They didn't lose, yeah.
So we'll find out. They get Cal. Cal's playing much better football. So they'll get California at home this coming weekend. So that's all things college football. Feel free. You want to talk about the coaches, players, and we're on our way. Chapel Hill, all is well, according to Bill and the Babe. We go from there.